We are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 2. Daksha curses Lord Shiva. Vidur Uvach. Bhave Shilavatam Shreshte Daksho Duhitri Vatsalah Vidvesham Akarot Kasmat Anadrityatmajam Satim. Vidur inquired, why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughter, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati? Vidvesham, enmity. Sometimes envy can mean also this, enmity. Envy can mean we cannot tolerate the higher position of someone, so we are envious of him. Sometimes envy can mean malice, means trying to harm someone, enmity towards someone. Both can be applied. So here in Sanskrit the word is vidvesham. So our Gurudev, when he used to explain about Dhruva Maharaj, that he gave up all vidvesh, means all enmity towards anyone, because he understood they are not to be blamed for my suffering. I am the cause. But if I think someone is the cause of my suffering, then I will have enmity towards someone. So that kind of enmity will not allow us to worship Krishna. So here he was asking why he had grudge or enmity or malice towards Shiva. Kastam charachara gurum nirvairam shanta vigraham atmaramam katam dveshti jagato devatam mahat. Yes, here in commentary also Swami Maharaj is telling, why was Daksha inimical toward Lord Shiva? Inimical means hostile. Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire world, is free from enmity, is a peaceful personality, and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? Here again it is dveshti, dvesha, hate, hatred also. So sometimes we have to, certain words we have to understand according to context and what the intention meaning it was, or if some other commentary is there, or in another verse some another word, so we have to understand what is meant. Here envy is not meant in that sense, but in hatred. Etat akyahi me brahman jamatuh shvashurasya cha vidveshastu yatah pranams tatyaje dushyajam sati. My dear Maitreya, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son-in-law and father-in-law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Maitreya Uvach. Pura Vishwa Srijam Satre Sametah Paramarshaya Tathamara Ganah Sarve Sanuga Munayognaya. The sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods and fire gods assembled with their followers. Tatra pravishtam rishayo drishtvarkam ivarochisha brajamanam vitimiram kurvantam tan mahat sada. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered that assembly, his personal bodily luster as bright as the effulgence of the sun, the entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. Udatishtan sadasyaste swadishnye byah sahagnaya rite virincham sharvam cha tat bhasakshipta chetasaha. Influenced by his personal bodily luster, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exceptions of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect for Daksha. Only Brahma and Shiva did not stand up. Sadasas pati bhir daksho Bhagavan sadhu satkritaha ajam loka gurum natva nisha sada tat agyaya. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. So Brahma was the president of the assembly. Daksha is his son. But he welcomed him, and that is why also Daksha, because he is his father, he offered respect. And he took his seat. Pran nishanam mridam drishtva namrishyat tat anadritaha uvacha vamam chakshurbhyam abhivikshya dahan iva. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry, and his eyes glowing, he began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. This was the problem. All conditioned souls, we have these worldly desires because of misconception of self. I am this body, so we have desire. There are so many varieties of desires, but one can put them into three. That is for wealth, kanaka, kamini, for sensual enjoyment, sexual enjoyment, and pratishta, position, name and fame, respect. Everyone has this. So these first two are more easy to give up than desire for getting respect from others. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Amanina Manadena. One should have these two type of qualities if he is to be situated in his real self. Actually, 4 qualities. One who is in his real self, he is more humbler than a blade of grass. He has no any false ego of this world. He is tolerant as a tree. He does not blame anyone for his own suffering. He sees the mercy of Krishna. Then this amanina, he does not have any demand for respect. And he can give due respect to all others because he sees Krishna there in them, and also because they belong to Krishna, so they have value, so he gives due respect. That does not mean that he follows their all actions if they are anti-devotional, but he gives respect to all. So here Daksha, that is Kam. Kam means selfish desire. So he wanted respect. And when Kama is not fulfilled, then Kama Krodat Bijayate. Then anger will come. That is why one of the qualities of a sadhu is his shanta. He is always peaceful. Why? Because he has no kama, nishkama, no any selfish desire. So there is no question of unfulfilled desire, so there is no question of any anger. Of course, pure devotees, they sometimes become angry to their disciples or to those whom they want to grace. That is for their benefit. They want to strongly rectify them or guide them strongly. That is why they are angry, but that is beneficial. That is not out of selfish, unfulfilled selfish desire. So this desire for wanting respect from others is very strong. It is directly related to Sapta ego, that ahankara. And in Shastra, in general, there are 4 categories. When one has a lot of money, then he will be proud and will demand respect. If someone is physically beautiful, if someone has a lot of knowledge, or if he is born in some high family, then he will have this demand for respect and anger if he does not receive it. That is very detrimental for bhajan. So he became angry and he began to speak against Shiva, who has no any fault. Shruyatam brahmarshayo me saha devah saha gnaya sadhunam bruvato vritam na jnanan na cha matsarat. And also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, though Vaishnava is most exalted, he has all good qualities, but still he has no pride and he is not demanding respect. That is a Vaishnava who reached at least Nishta stage above Anartha Nivritti. This Anartha, to demand respect, is very problematic. To give up. And also it can divert your attention to bhajan, and you can commit offense to Vaishnavas and to other jivas. You can commit offense. That is why we see Madhavendra Puri. He was such a great devotee that even Krishna was fulfilling his desire by stealing a pot of kheer for him. So now Madhavendra Puri thought, now everyone will think I am a great devotee, so they will all come and they will give respect and they will worship me and all the time crowd around me and all these things. It will be not good for my bhajan. So he immediately left. He was afraid of celebrity, prestige, all these things. But conditioned souls, we are fighting for that, ready to do anything for that. But for pure devotees like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he uttered that desire for name and fame or respect is like a stool of a pig. Pig eats stool, and then what he produces is that stool. So one should not even see it, what to speak of touch it. Immediately you become impure, even if you see it. So this desire for name and fame, for respect, is so opposite to devotion to Krishna that it is so impure. Totally opposite to devotion to Krishna. Because Krishna, we write, but we don't think about it and we don't feel it. But we write, all glory to Guru and Gauranga. But in practical life, we fight for our own glory, for our own respect. All sages, brahmanas, and fire gods present, please hear me with attention, for I speak about the manners of gentle persons. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy. When one does something and he justifies himself, then you can know something is wrong. Those who are free of false ego, they will never justify themselves. They will justify other Vaishnavas, like Jiva Goswami. He wanted to show the glory of Rupa Sanatan, not for himself. Vaishnavas, they can accept any kind of insult towards them. They will tolerate. There is no problem for them because they know what respect can I demand. I am nothing. Krishna is everything. His devotees, personal associates, they are everything. So I am only their servant. So why I will have to demand any respect for myself? But if he sees that devotees or Supreme Lord are criticized or insulted or disrespected, then he will become very angry and will protest and will justify their and defend their glory. But sometimes we say, yes, I am doing this only for your good. We try to justify so much our goodness, then that is a little suspicious. Sometimes if we sincerely say, no, I did not mean this, I wanted this, if it is with sincere humbleness and truth, then it is okay. But if we try to defend or justify our action so much that they are so good, then there is something fishy there, like Americans say, something smelly, something impure there. So he said, please hear me. Daksha said, please hear me. I will speak about the behavior of gentle persons, how they should behave. I am not speaking out of ignorance or envy. But he actually was speaking out of ignorance and envy because he could not understand the behavior of Shiva. He misunderstood it, as we will see. And he was also angry on Shiva. Ayam tu loka palanam yashogno nirapatrapah sadbir acharitah pantha yena stabdhena dushitaha. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. Esha me shishyatam prapto yan me duhitur agrahit panim vipragni mukataha savitrya iva sadhuvat. Our Gurudev told, when he was explaining the third verse of Shikastaka during Kartik time, every day he repeated same thing. This desire for respect will make us commit offense to others. Jivas, Supreme Lord, and Vaishnavas. We will commit offense and we will not be able to chant pure name. So we cannot get the result of real name. It is our fault. It is not that, no, there is something wrong in Harinam. Everyone saying Harinam is all powerful, not different from Krishna, you will be rescued from all sins, all sufferings, all these things. I think it is not true. No, it is true. But I am not chanting properly. I am committing offense. That is why. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and Brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Sati was married to Shiva, so now Daksha is his father-in-law. So husband has to respect father-in-law. So here Daksha is saying he did not give respect to governor of universe, also not to his father-in-law. You see how he's behaving. And when he was marrying, he pretended like he's an honest person. Yes, he's marrying my daughter, so I'm his father-in-law. But now he's not behaving in that way. So he was only pretending that time. Yes, here in commentary, Sai Maharaj telling, Daksha's statement that Lord Shiva pretended to be an honest person means that Shiva was dishonest because in spite of accepting the position of Daksha's son-in-law, he was not respectful to Daksha. Grihitva mriga shavakshya panim markatalochana pratyuthanabhi vadarhe vachapyakrita nochitam. He has eyes like a monkey's, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words. A real Vaishnava will never say, how you can behave with me in such a way? How you can disrespectfully behave to me? No, Vaishnava can never say this, because he's never demanding any kind of respect. Only if there is Guru who has love for all living entities, his pure devotee, if he sees his disciple is disrespectful to him, then he will chastise his disciple, but for his own good, for his benefit, not for his personal prestige. Like Krishna is telling, you bow down to me, you surrender me, because it is for our benefit, not his selfishness. Once our Gurudev told, he and our Parangurudev, they were in Kolkata in some householder's place, some rich persons. So there was Harikatha program there. Then The parents, they said, our son will now go to London for studying, so you please bless him that there will be no any harm on his way, and there that he will, everything will be fine for him, no any obstacles, no any harm, nothing. Then Parangurev said he has to bow down to his parents, then everything will be okay. He should have respect for his parents, then by the blessing of parents, everything will be okay. Then the prasad and everything, then when they were going out, then by some mistake, because there was crowd and on the door, that son, by mistake, he touched his own feet to the feet of his mother. Then mother became very worried and said, quickly bow down to me, quickly bow down to me. It was not out of her desiring respect, out of selfishness, no. It was, she was thinking, oh, nothing bad should happen to my son, that he touched his feet to my feet. It is like, it is disrespectful. So she, for his own good, she said, you bow down to me and touch my feet with hands. And son did, and mother was happy. Like Krishna is saying, you bow down to me, worship me, do this, because it is for our good. Like that, if Guru sees disrespect to him by his disciple, then he will chastise him for disciples' good. Like, for example, when Indra, he was in throne in heavenly planets, sitting together with his wife, Sachi. And he was so much speaking with her, absorbed, that he did not notice when Brihaspati, his own guru, came inside. And he did not stand up and receive his guru. He was all the time speaking with wife. Then Brihaspati thought, maybe he did not see me. So Brihaspati went more in front of him. And though Indra saw him, but like not paying attention, still he was so much absorbed with his wife. Then when Brihaspati saw, then he became angry. That was out of compassion for Indra, not out of selfishness. Because it is not good for Indra. So then he punished him that he left that kingdom and he rejected him as a disciple. That was for his own good. But here, Daksha, he is speaking out of false ego. He thinks, I am the governor here, I am the main man here. And also I am his father-in-law. Why he is not giving me respect? So out of selfish desire for respect, he was speaking. It is not same. Outwardly looks like same, but inside is not the same. Lupta kriyaya shuchaye manine bhinna setave anichan apyadam balam shudra ye vo shatim giram. So Vaishnava will never complain why you are behaving in such disrespectful way to me. He will never say impossible. Daksha said, I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility. He is naked and putting ashes on himself and wearing snakes. Because of not observing the required rules and regulations, he is impure. but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to a Shudra. So I had to give. It was improper. One should not give Vedic knowledge to Shudra. So like that, it was not good. I gave my daughter to him. Yes. According to Daksha, the entire transaction of the marriage of his daughter with Shiva was not in order. It was not proper. Preta vaseshu ghoreshu preter bhuta ganer vrita atati unmatava nagno vyupta kesho hasan rudan chita bhasma krita snana preta sran rasti bhushana shiva padesho hya shivo mato mata jana priya patih pramata nathanam tamo matra atma katmanam. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are ghosts and demons. Naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying, he smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bath regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. That is all impure. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva, or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. Tasma unmadanathaya nashta shauchaya dur hride data bata maya sadvi chodite parameshtina. On the request of Lord Brahma, I handed over my chaste daughter to him. Although he is devoid of all cleanliness and his heart is filled with nasty things. Because my father, Brahma, ordered me, that is why I gave. Otherwise, I would never give. He is outwardly impure, inside also he is impure. Inside his heart also so many nasty things are there. So he is falsely accusing him. That is also great sin. Somewhere I read recently, I don't remember well, that this false accusing is also sin. So you have to also rectify that. But he was so enraged because of not getting that respect he's thinking I should get. He's demanding. He spoke such false accusations. Maitreya Uvach. Vinindyevam sa girisham. Apratipam avastitam daksho tapa upasprisya krutah shaptum prachakrame. The sage Maitreya continued. Thus Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Malice, trying to harm, that is Vidvesh, enmity. I am to Deva Yajana, Indro Pendra Dibir Bhava, Saha Bhagam Na Labatam, Devair Deva Ganadhamaha. the demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of sacrifice. But Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. He deprived him. Nishi dia manach sa sadasya mukher daksho giri traya visrijya shapam tasmad vinishkramya vivrida manyur jagama kauravya nijam niketanam. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, in spite of the requests of all the members of the sacrificial assembly, Daksha, in great anger, cursed Lord Shiva and then left the assembly and went back to his home. So others also, they said, no, it is not good, but still he was so much angry. This desire for respect is very problematic. In worldly sense also, you will have so much problems because of that. And for Vaishnavas also, this is the greatest anartha. If one does not give up this anartha, then he cannot progress in bhajan. Can never get prem, and he will commit offenses also. Vigyaya shapam giri shanu gagranir nandishwaro rosha kashaya dushitaha dakshaya shapam visasarja darunam ye chanva modam stat avachatam dvija. Upon understanding that Lord Shiva had been cursed, Nandishvara, one of Lord Shiva's principal associates, became greatly angry. His eyes became red, and he prepared to curse Daksha and all the Brahmanas present there, who had tolerated Daksha's cursing Shiva in harsh words. So here in the commentary, there is a long-standing dissension among some of the neophyte Vaishnavas and Shaivites. They're always at loggerheads. When Daksha cursed Lord Shiva in harsh words, some of the Brahmanas present might have enjoyed it because some Brahmanas do not very much admire Lord Shiva. This is due to their ignorance of Lord Shiva's position. Nandishwar was affected by the cursing, but he did not follow the example of Lord Shiva, who was also present there. Although Lord Shiva could also have cursed Daksha in a similar way, he was silent and tolerant. That is Vaishnava. He is not disturbed if someone disrespects him, because he has no desire for respect. Only, as I told before, only if it is necessary for the benefit of that person who is in your shelter, then you can chastise for his own good, because he will be deprived of mercy. Of goodness he will be deprived. Like Mother said, you quickly bow down to me and touch my feet. Krishna saying, you bow down to me. It is for our benefit. Of course, as a follower, it was right for him not to tolerate an insult to his master. But he should not have cursed the Brahmanas who were present. The entire issue was so complicated that those who were not strong enough forgot their positions, and thus cursing and counter-cursing went on in that great assembly. In other words, the material field is so unsteady that even personalities like Nandishwar, Daksha, and many of the Brahmanas present were infected by the atmosphere of anger. He was a follower of Shiva, So he did not tolerate. Like Jiva Goswami, he debated that Digvijay Pandit because he insulted Rupa and Sanatan. He disrespected them. He told they are ordinary fools. And he was showing that paper. You see, they signed their defeat to me. Then Jiva Goswami thought he's a fool. And also other people, they will misunderstand. And they will be deprived of the mercy of Rupa and Sanatan. They will not read their books because they will think they are fools. So Jiva Goswami debated that Digvijay Pandit not for his own prestige, but for the dignity of his gurus and for the out of compassion for all living entities. So here Nandishwar also, as a follower of Shiva, he protested. Ya etan martyam uddishya bhagavati aprati druhi druhyati agyah pritag drishtis tatato vimukha bhavet. Also wars in this world between kings and also nowadays and always, they're happening because of this false ego. And no one wants to give up. They're so proud, they will go and they will, at any cost, they will do nonsense things just to fulfill their own prestige. But so much harm they will do to many other people, but they don't care. Only their own prestige they want. So there's so many things problem. This is clash of interest in this world. It will always happen. So here the whole atmosphere was affected. Like if we do sinful activities in this world, there are so many sinful activities, many varieties. So that is also polluting atmosphere. And when that is very much accumulated, and when the time comes, then nature will have to react to balance that. Then so many natural catastrophes and all these things are happening. Also wars and all these things to clear that depth of sinful activities. Anyone who has accepted Daksha as the most important personality and neglected Lord Shiva because of envy is less intelligent, and because of visualizing in duality will be bereft of transcendental knowledge. He rightly said this. Narottam Thakur, he said, there are 6 enemies, so 5 of these 6 enemies, they can be used in the service of Krishna. Kama, Krishna, Karma, Arpane. One should offer lust or passion or that activity, desire, strong desire for the service of Krishna. And Krodha, Bhakta, Dveshi, Jane. You have to be angry on those who are criticizing devotees or trying to harm devotees or Supreme Lord. You have to be angry on them. You should protest. You should not support that. That will be love for Vaishnavas and Supreme Lord. But we have to see it is really for their glory and out of compassion, or it is I feel myself offended, so in order to get my own prestige, I become angry and I debate. That is very subtle point also inside. But what we do will get the result. If there is any subtle, our own prestige hurt, then also result will get of that. But if like Jiva Goswami purely he did only for the glory of his gurus, for the satisfaction of Krishna and for the compassion to jivas, then that is devotion, pure devotion. So he rightly he told Because Shiva has no fault, he's a pure devotee, so they are looking wrongly. So they will be deprived of transcendental knowledge. Griheshu kuta dharmeshu sakto gramya sukhe chaya karma tantram vitanute veda vada vipanadih. As you remember, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was having Harikatha, Harikirtan programs in his house. So one time, one personal associate of Nityananda Prabhu, Minketan Ramdas, came. And because he is in Prema, he was behaving in that some unusual way, sometimes slapping someone or crying, and like that Prema was there. But his brother and also that priest, they could not respect him. They had bad feelings about him. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami argued against his brother. This is not good. You are not having respect to him. It means you are not having respect to Nityananda Prabhu. You are claiming you have respect to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but not to Nityananda. That is wrong. Nityananda he spoke the glories and he argued against that wrong mentality of his brother angrily. And because of that seva to Supreme Lord and his devotees, in that night he got the blessing of Nityananda Prabhu and he rescued him from his house and took him to Vrindavan. So it is always beneficial for us to sing the glories of Vaishnavas, to defend the glory of Vaishnava and also of Supreme Lord. That is devotion to them. That will purify us. But that is the best activity. But the worst activity is to speak bad against Vaishnavas. That is the worst activity possible that a jiva can do. Because Krishna loves everyone, but he loves more his devotees. So if anyone tries to criticize or harm them, that is most detrimental to our eternal welfare. And Krishna also warns, it is not only for pure devotees. Of course, if you criticize pure devotee, that will be more harmful. But it is also harmful if we criticize in improper way those who are sadhaka devotees. With wrong motives, if we always try to show their faults and with self-aggrandizement mood or for belittling him or discouraging for some, that if that motive is there, then Krishna will also not be pleased. We will have offense. We cannot chant properly. So we have to, that is why Krishna says, sometimes devotee, he may do something wrong because of previous bad habits, but you should not see this. You should see that he is properly situated. He is worshipping me. You should see his good quality, not that thing. That is very difficult because our ego does not allow. Our ego wants respect and he wants to put others down, to feed himself. So as long as we commit this offense, then we cannot come to pure chanting. Pretentiously religious householder life, in which one is attracted to material happiness and thus also attracted to the superficial explanation of the Vedas, robs one of all intelligence and attaches one to fruitive activities as all in all, like karma kant, and also this having this pride and demand for respect. This blinds you of all intelligence and this. Superficial explanation of the Vedas means this, karma kant, that Vedas are meant like to regulate us with actions so that we can get some material benefits. That is not the real intention of the Vedas. They want to regulate us for this action so that we purify our heart, so that we can come to the point of transcendental knowledge. Buddhya parabhidyayenya vismritatma gatih pashuh stri kamah so stvati daksho basta mukochirat. Daksha has accepted the body as all in all. Therefore, since he has forgotten the Vishnu path or Vishnu Goti and is attached to sex life only, within a short time he will have the face of a goat. This was his curse. Forgotten the Vishnu path. Goti means transcendental goal. He's thinking only of material goals, not transcendental goal, and attached to this sense enjoyment, so he will have this. And it happened, as we will see. Vidya buddhir avidyayam karma mayam asau jara sangsarantiha ye chamum anu sharva va maninam. Those who have become as dull as matter by cultivating materialistic education and intelligence are nesciently involved in fruitive activities. I will do this work and I will enjoy that fruit. That is ignorance. Such men have purposely insulted Lord Shiva. May they continue in the cycle of repeated birth and death. That is for sure. If we cannot have respect for transcendental knowledge of the Vedas and transcendental character of Vaishnava and of Supreme Lord, then it is sure we will continue this material existence. Only when we have enough Sukriti, then Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnava Swalpa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishwashoneva Jayate. Those who have not enough Punya means Sukriti, Swalpa Punya means very little Punya, they cannot have faith or respect to these items. Mahaprasad, name of Supreme Lord, Vaishnava, and Supreme Lord. They cannot have. So they will continue this material existence. So tomorrow we will hear about Jayadev Goswami. There also, there was false accusation against Jayadev Goswami, pure devotee, no any fault. But robbers, they were caught and they then falsely accused Jayadev Goswami. So Mother Earth could not tolerate. She immediately swallowed them, killed them, punished them, because they gave false accusation against pure devotee who has no any faults. So this is very dangerous action. So tomorrow we will hear.